This is a case study of how ZWDS actually works in the real world when charting a man's ups and downs throughout his 50-year business career. You will see how he effectively utilized the replacement solutions found in Chinese astrology to overcome massive downfalls and accumulate tremendous wealth in retirement. First off, let's start with this man's ZWDS birth chart. My method of analyzing ZWDS charts is methodical and practical for real-life usage. A series of formulas is applied on ZWDS charts to obtain the required information. There is minimal talk about the personalities of the various stars, because stars alone do not enact events in real life without activation. Such discussion is meaningless without incorporating the four transformations, Lu, Chuan, K, and G. The birth year triggers these highlighted stars. With Lu transformation on Tianqi in the life house and paired with G-Man, he thinks quick on his feet. His spoken words are succinct and able to gain him advantages. This meshes with the fact pattern of his entire life. He depends very much on his speech in advancing his career. First in sales, then brokering deals and acquiring companies, and coaching business owners. The life house activates Lu transformation on Wu Qi, a direct wealth star that originated his obsession with making money. The G transformation on Wen Qi in the travel house clashes his life house, indicates that problems throughout his entire life will occur unexpectedly and in a lightning-quick fashion, stemming from his societal relationships, usually involving agreements and contracts. As the travel house triggers the Lu transformation in Tianji, he will have to depend on his quick wit to turn things around. Slowness in reaction is lethal to his ability to deal with set problems. From the money house, we can see what kind of career he is predestined to take on in this lifetime. G transformation occurs on G-Man star in the life house, again confirming what I mentioned earlier. He will need to depend on his communicative abilities in his career. This G transformation clashes his travel house and will enact a massive downfall in money and career during the 10-year range of ages 45 to 54. I will elaborate more on this formula later on. When he ended his military deployment and began his real estate career during the ages 25 to 34, the 10-year career house triggered G transformation on Wen Chang and clashed with the 10-year spouse house. The spouse house is the physical body of the property house and the external manifestation of the career house. Having a spouse house clash denotes a major failure is about to take place, almost always job loss or business collapse. Indeed, he lost his sales job when the company was shut down due to tax evasion. Furthermore, the original travel house created a G transformation in the 10-year life house, thus clashed the 10-year travel house. This is a classic case of similar houses clashing that will affect an event in real life. In the BAZI chart, the elements portray a similar story as ZWDS. The Sin manner of the phase clashed with Yu Wood in the year pillar. Actions by close associates will disrupt his business and cause him to lose his income source. Sea fire combined with Shen metal in the month pillar to form water. This combination was aggravated when he was aged 27, when Ren and Z water entered the scenario. The massive influx of water triggered the herding officer element and caused him to lose his position with the real estate company. Next, we have to find out if he is predestined to receive external help from benefactors. The original career house created a Lu transformation in Po Jun star along the parental bodily axis, the line of brightness. This means he should seek out a benefactor possessing the traits of Po Jun, a star denoting massive size and ocean voyages. He sought out a mentor who was at that time the president of a shipping company. The 10-year career house instigated a Lu transformation on G-Man star along the original life travel axis. This means he is fated to meet someone, supposedly a good talker like him, who can change the course of his life. Towards the end of this 10-year phase, he got acquainted with an oil industry veteran who would later become his business partner in the next decade. We will examine how the chart traced his meteoric rise to the top. In the following decade of ages 35 to 44, A 10-year life house triggered a new transformation on Tan Lang in the original sibling house. Tan Lang's star thus ignited Hyo Xing in the opposite friend house, in a combination known as fiery greediness. The sibling friend axis is also the line of accomplishments. In this decade, he cobbled together a capable team of business partners and listed the company on a stock exchange in a few short years, earning him tens of millions in one go. Both the original and 10-year career houses put new transformations in each other's axis. This decade was the most favorable for his career. The fourth phase of his life saw the introduction of Ken metal that combined with Yi wood and Clash G wood. Chen Earth combined with Yi metal to form more metal. With the multitude of metal elements, the wealth elements were trapped. When he was 37, the arrival of Su Earth caused both water and fire vaults to break open. Chen Earth was the water storage that strengthened the herding officer, while Zu Earth became the tomb to bury the direct officer. In short, this means he was destined to lose his leadership position. This was the year his business partner decided to embezzle money from the company, and culminated in a breakup of the partnership. At the age of 39, his wealth elements received a reprieve in the form of a very strong geowood, supported by seawater. This wealth element managed to subdue the overwhelming metal elements, allowing his company to go public, and he made his first pot of gold. Recall, early on, I mentioned that he is predestined to go through a massive downfall in the ages of 45 to 54. This phase entered the original money house, triggering G transformation in G-man star that clashed the 10-year spouse house. The spouse house is important in determining job loss and business failure because it is the physical body of the property house and the external manifestation of the career house. G-man star receiving G transformation means the source of the problem is always the mouth. He ran his mouth too much and offended many people in the process. At the first sign of trouble in the markets, his business partners decided to oust him from the public company he founded. It led to a protracted legal battle that involved the freezing of his personal assets, as he sought to extract the money tied up in his shares. This decade was tumultuous and ultimately caused his divorce. He was victorious in the end, managing to free up his assets and obtain the money owed to him. Although so, it cost him his career and family. He decided at this point to pivot and train business founders instead. As a business coach, he was still following a path he was destined for, a career related to speaking. The fifth phase wasn't favorable for his wealth and peer elements. Mao would clash with Metal in the year pillar, signifying his close associates turning against him over money. This matter was exacerbated when he was 47 when Rod Wealth appeared to freeze his assets. The ran water ignited the herding officer in his chart, thus setting the scene for a showdown in the courtroom. In the original career house, there is a G transformation of Tan Lang star in the sibling friend axis, making it impossible for him to have any kind of achievement if no proactive steps are taken. This same G transformation again clashed with the 10-year spouse house of ages 55 to 64. The main solution to resolve this is utilizing the original offspring house to trigger a new transformation on Tan Lang. He activated the offspring house and engaged in numerous related ventures. This successfully overcame the odds stacked against him and he weathered the storm relatively unscathed. However, many of the related ventures failed, but it protected the bulk of his wealth, and he emerged with his personal holdings intact. Such is the truth of the replacement solution. You lose a patch of skin in order to avoid losing a pound of flesh. In the ages of 65 to 74, the 10-year life house caused Tai Yin Moon to receive the G transformation. This is stacked with the G transformation of the birth year, thereby creating a double assault upon the 10-year spouse house. Tai Yin is coincidentally situated in the spouse house of the original birth chart, thus inciting the classic scenario of a clash between two similar houses. The effects are catastrophic. He could only remedy the situation by utilizing the original money house. In this period, He had several unpleasant encounters with the legal system, both at home and overseas. A foreign trade authority failed to solicit a bribe from him, and they decided to initiate court action against one of his ventures. Not long after, a long-time employee was caught embezzling money trust fund at home. Having learned his lesson from previous phases, he kept up the implementation of the replacement solution, instead of enduring another traumatic upheaval in this decade. He lost a few hairs that would have crippled someone who didn't utilize a replacement solution. Upcoming problems can always be seen in the ZWDS and BAZI charts. Solutions can be extracted from the ZWDS chart with the use of unchanging formulas, a discussion of which star landing in which house has absolutely no meaning whatsoever when we seek to apply this in real life. It is only with the application of the four transformations are we able to make authentic sense of our ZWDS charts and find the solutions necessary to change the outcomes of our lives.